Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. Sorry, I was trying to make a video and then I realized I recorded like halfway through and hadn't hit record. So, but anyway, I'll try to rehash this quickly. If you followed any of my other videos, you know that I've been battling with depression for a long time. Really for 25 years, but it became a real problem those last since early 2021 when I first did transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. And I did TMS because my mood was okay. Maybe it wasn't great, but it was okay. But I was having bad fatigue, and I thought that the fatigue, and I still think the fatigue, was a residual symptom of the depression. So I thought maybe TMS would help. It did not help. It had some impacts. For me, it didn't really help. And when I stopped doing it, I had a horrible relapse in terms of mood, like in terms of like depressive mood. And that continued to be a problem really for, the next, what has it been? It's been 2 years now. I mean, it was a major problem for like 6 months, and then an up and down problem for, from then until today. Then until, now. I'm not telling anybody not to do TMS. I'm just saying that, I had a bad reaction to it. I did notice some positive impacts at first, but they faded with time. Not really here to talk about TMS, but just the thing is, I've noticed, there's been, since the TMS, there's been different things I've tried to help with the mood and, hopefully the fatigue, but mainly the mood. And, the first thing I tried was the sleep apnea, appliance that I wore. And, that like a mouth guard that, keeps the sleep apnea from happening. I don't know. I haven't been able to wear it for a few weeks because my gums are still sore from the gum grafts. But that had a dramatic impact, and I felt like it had cured my issue at first. After 2 or 3 weeks, though, stopped working, stopped doing anything. Right back to just where I started. The next thing that I had tried was raw milk. Again, dramatic impact, not just with the mood, which is what I did it for, but with the fatigue too. Absolutely positive that both of these things were not placebo effects. I didn't really think either of them would work, and I certainly didn't think they'd help with the fatigue, not just with the mood. But after, again, same thing, thought I was cured. Nope. Great for a few weeks, so good for a few weeks that I even tried to get off the meds, and that didn't work. But it just stopped working, and then the next thing that I tried, because my mood was getting so bad, was cutting out, one thing that I usually do is cut out caffeine and chocolate, because I don't react well to those. It's not that getting rid of those cures the depression, it's that consuming them makes the depression worse. So stopping that helped for a while. I still wasn't good enough, so I cut out sweeteners and refined grains. And there was some painful withdrawal symptoms for a few days. That really helped a lot. Not with the fatigue. It didn't help with the fatigue at all. Fatigue was every bit as bad. Unlike the sleep apnea and raw milk, which did help with the fatigue. That really improved my mood a lot. Then these last few weeks, I'd been going through a bunch of shit with, I don't know why the depression, like the mood was getting worse, but also I was just under a lot of stress. First I had the gum surgery, then I had the gum grafts, then I had this other procedure, which really stressed me out. And it seemed like I was really relapsing again. I was relapsing again. So then I was in the store the other day, though, and I saw this. This is called Lifeway Probiotic Kefir. And I just, I hadn't had raw milk for a few days. So I was like, I'll just try, because I didn't feel like driving to go to get the raw milk. And it wasn't instant. I did notice I felt better pretty quickly after drinking it, but I didn't pay much attention to it. But then I noticed, like, after a few days, whereas the raw milk, like, had more of an instant impact, this one, it took a few days. But, you know, it really helped a lot. I mean, really improved the mood. And I've been eating like shit too. It's really improved the mood. And I'm sure I look pretty tired. And don't get me wrong, I am tired. But it's a different kind of tired than I was. And, you know, like even like today, I was even able to exercise a little, which I haven't been able to do for months. And so, you know, it just got, but the thing is, if the other like things, like the other things that have made me feel really good, the oral device and the raw milk, if they stop working, why would I not expect for this to stop working too? And, you know, what I was thinking is that, you know, a lot of different things can cause depression. A lot of them, like, so some people are saying maybe it's like a serotonin thing. Some people say it's an inflammation thing. And I don't know. I mean, the way I look at it is depression can have different mechanisms. It can be caused by different things. And, but I think that for me, it's probably caused by the microbiome, gut flora, whatever you want to call it. And that would explain why there are these dramatic upticks. Like when I improved the sleep apnea, it probably fixed the gut, because there is a connection between sleep apnea and gut flora. It probably did fix the gut flora. And then as my body adjusted to it, the gut flora went back to my normal crappy gut flora, and the symptoms returned. And then the raw milk, probably the same thing. The instant shock fixed the gut flora. And then, but when that shock wore off and my body was able to adjust to the raw milk, it all of a sudden it was like, okay, no, we're going back to, it goes back to my old gut flora, and the depression returned. And that's probably what's happening here. You know, these new probiotics, and these are the most powerful I've tried yet, because this thing has a lot of probiotics. So, and I'm drinking 2 things of it a day. Dramatic impact at first, and my guess is in a few weeks it's going to stop working. So just have to wait and see. One other thing I want to mention about this, though, is I suffer from horrendous sugar cravings, just like out of this world sugar cravings. And it goes way beyond. A lot of people like sweets. I like sweets, nothing wrong with that. But like this overwhelming urge I have to just consume insane amounts of them. And that had been going on for a while starting in January is when it had gotten really bad. And it's probably because the gut flora, and the reason that the sugar cravings probably came back so badly earlier this month is because my body had adjusted to the, no sweeteners, no gluten, no refined grains. My body had probably adjusted to that, and my gut went back to the shitty way it was before. So now the sugar cravings just returned, and that's why my mood was a little bit depressed and getting worse. And right now, I still like sweets, but like right now, I mean, there's nothing. So I'm not like depressed or anything, and I'm not like, so right now I'm definitely not going to concerned about my weight or my health until, certainly not until the depression is resolved. So there's nothing stopping me from going to 7-Eleven and buying, 10 king-size Kit Kat things, putting them in the freezer and having some, or some peanut butter cups, or Reese's Pieces, or Snickers bars, or Three Musketeers. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. I got chocolate-covered pretzels, and both in the fridge down here and the fridge upstairs. I've got chocolate chip cookies upstairs. I've got a cherry Coke in the fridge. I can have those things. There's no restraint here, okay? I can go and have those things. I just don't want them. They would taste good. I just like right now, I'm just like, don't really want to eat all that sweets right now. And this is just like 3 or 4 days ago, I wasn't able to stop myself from eating 3 king-size Payday bars. I could not eat a Payday bar right now, okay? That just sounds disgusting to me. The only reason I was able to eat them, I mean, they're horrible. I just ate them because, I couldn't have chocolate because of the depression. And my sugar cravings were so bad, I needed something. So the Payday bars actually, to me, tasted good. So, I don't think it's revolutionary to say there's some connection between microbiome and depression. So for me, it's got to be an issue. Like, I'm trying to decide between 2 things. Is my body just is like the good microbiome just having like a brief antidepressant effect, and the but it's not really like, once it goes, everything else goes with it, and the depression is temporarily cured, but it's not because of the good microbiome. But then my brain adjusting to my microbiome, and that's what's making me depressed, or like my improved microbiome, or is my microbiome only being restored for a brief period? Like when it gets like, is the oral device or the probiotics, are they briefly restoring the microbiome, and then as the bacteria in my gut adjust, they're going back to normal, and all of a sudden the oral device or the raw milk, and then eventually these probiotics, they're just not enough for me to keep my microbiome stable anymore. Is that it? And I think that's what it is, because I've read about people who've done, this is kind of gross, but they have these things called fecal transplants, where you get like, I don't know, you get a piece of like they get a donor, and they use that donor's shit. Like, this is a donor with a healthy microbiome, and put it in a pill, and then you swallow it. That's called a microbiome transplant. And then it's supposed to give you their good microbiome. But there's been studies that showed it doesn't take. Like, the people have react really well to it. But like, and for some people it's permanent, but some people it stops working after a few months, because like their body's just readjusted to their old shitty microbiome. And that's my guess of what's causing my depression. So for me to like keep looking for medications or stuff that are going to solve my depression, it's probably not going to work, because the depression is caused from the microbiome. In my case, I don't think that describes all cases of depression. So I just got to find some way to maintain it, I guess. And but I'm actually optimistic, because I feel like now I kind of know what's causing it. We'll have to wait and see. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next.